destructive chewing, excessive barking, zooming at midnight. You've probably labeled it bad behavior. Maybe you've even felt frustrated, embarrassed, or just plain exhausted by it. But here's the truth nobody tells you: your dog isn't acting out. It's begging for something to do. Every shredded pillow, every bark fest at nothing, every 2 a.m. lap around the living room is a message. And once you learn to read it, everything changes. This video is going to show you exactly what boredom looks like in dogs, why it happens, and what you can actually do about it today. Let us start with a scenario. You've just come home after a long day. You're tired, you want to sit down, maybe eat something warm. But the moment you walk through that door, your dog is already bouncing off the walls, jumping, spinning, nudging your hand, knocking things over. And you think, what is wrong with you? You had the whole day, the whole house. You should be relaxed. But here's the thing: your dog was waiting. Not sleeping peacefully, not puttering around contentedly. Just waiting. Because without something meaningful to engage with, dogs do not self-soothe the way humans do. They do not scroll their phone, read a book, or stare out the window in Zen reflection. They escalate. And this is where most people get it wrong. They see the chaos, and they think their dog is hyper, difficult, or just wired that way. But in most cases, what you are actually looking at is a bored dog. A smart, capable animal whose brain has been running on empty all day. So if you've ever wondered why your dog does the things it does, the chewing, the barking, the clingy shadowing of your every step, this video is going to reframe all of it. Because once you understand what's really going on, you stop dreading your dog's behavior and you start solving it. Let us get into it. Here's what most people picture when they think about a bored dog. A sad, droopy animal lying in the corner, sighing dramatically. And sure, that's one version of boredom, but it is actually the quiet version and the rarer one. The boredom you are more likely living with looks completely different. It looks like chaos. Short start dogs are problem-solving animals. They were bred, over thousands of years, to work alongside humans. To herd, to hunt, to track, to retrieve, to guard. Even the most easygoing dog carries that genetic blueprint inside them. And when there's no outlet for it, no problem to solve, no job to do, no mental challenge to chew on, that energy doesn't disappear. It finds its own outlet, usually one you are not going to like. So let us talk about the actual signs. And I want you to really look at these, because some of them are so normalized that most dog owners do not even register them as a problem anymore. Short end, the first sign is destructive chewing. Not the casual mouthing of a puppy still figuring out the world. I am talking about systematic destruction: furniture legs, baseboards, shoes, remote controls. Your dog isn't doing this to spite you. Chewing is mentally stimulating. It releases tension. It gives the jaw and brain something to do. When your dog chews the wrong things, it is basically self-medicating for boredom. The second sign is excessive vocalization, barking at nothing, whining with no clear cause, howling that seems to come out of nowhere. People often assume this is an anxiety issue, and sometimes it is. But chronic boredom and understimulation can produce the exact same vocal patterns. Your dog is essentially broadcasting. Something needs to happen. Third, and this one surprises people, is what I call shadow behavior. Your dog follows you from room to room, every single room. You go to the bathroom, there they are. You move to the kitchen, they reposition. This looks sweet, and yes, it can be a sign of bonding. But when it is compulsive, when your dog cannot settle unless they are physically touching you or tracking you, it is often a sign of understimulation. They've made you the only interesting thing in their environment. Fourth, the zoomies at weird times. Look, zoomies themselves are normal and even healthy. But when your dog is doing frantic laps around the house at 11 p.m. on a weeknight, that's not just silliness. That's pent-up energy that never found a proper release during the day. It's your dog's nervous system finally forcing a discharge. Fifth, digging, scratching, and rearranging. Digging at the couch cushions, scratching at the carpet, moving objects around the house for no apparent reason. These repetitive, exploratory behaviors are classic signs of a brain that's searching for stimulation and not finding it in the things you've provided. Sixth, pestering behavior. Nudging your arm constantly, dropping toys in your lap over and over, pawing at you with increasing urgency. Your dog is trying to initiate. It's trying to start something, a game, an interaction, a chase. And when you do not engage, it escalates. Every time. Now, here's the important reframe I promised you. Every single one of these behaviors is normal for a dog that isn't getting enough mental stimulation. Not bad, not broken. Normal. And once you stop seeing them as character flaws and start seeing them as signals, you can actually do something about them. So let us talk about what mental stimulation actually means, because this is where I see a lot of well-meaning owners miss the mark. Most people assume that exercise equals stimulation. And yes, physical exercise is important, crucial, even. But a dog can run for an hour and come home completely satisfied physically and still be mentally bored out of its mind. Physical tiredness and mental tiredness are not the same thing. Think about it from a human perspective. If someone took you to the gym every day but never let you have a conversation, read anything, or solve any problems, you'd go a little crazy. Same principle. Mental stimulation is about giving your dog's brain something to work on, something to figure out, something that engages their instincts, their nose, their problem-solving ability, their capacity for learning. Let us get specific. Here are the most effective ways to mentally enrich your dog's life. And I am going to rank them by impact, not by how complicated they are. Number 1, and this is the most underused, highest impact thing you can do, is nose work. Dogs live in a world of smell in a way that's almost incomprehensible to us. Their nose is exponentially more powerful than ours, and when you give it something real to do, it triggers a level of mental engagement that physical exercise just cannot match. You do not need a class or special equipment to start. Hide small pieces of food around the house and let your dog find them. Start easy, visible hides, and gradually make it harder. Watch how focused and satisfied your dog is afterward. It works like a switch. Number 2 is training. Not punishment-based correction, that creates stress, not stimulation. I mean reward-based learning. Teaching new behaviors, practicing old ones in new environments, building sequences. The act of learning something, of working to figure out what earns the reward, is deeply satisfying for dogs. And it doesn't have to be long. 10 minutes of focused training will tire your dog out more than a 30-minute walk because it is using a completely different part of the experience. Number 3 is food delivery method. This is low effort, high return. Instead of dropping your dog's meal in a bowl twice a day, use that food as an opportunity for enrichment. Puzzle feeders lick mats, stuffed toys, scatter feeding in the grass. All of these turn a 2-minute meal into a 10 or 15-minute mental workout. Your dog has to think, forage, problem solve, and you didn't have to add anything extra to your day. Number 4 is novelty. Dogs need new things to investigate. New smells, new textures, new environments. A simple rotation of toys creates novelty, not because your dog forgot about a toy, but because absence genuinely makes objects more interesting when reintroduced. Take different routes on walks. Let your dog stop and sniff instead of marching at your pace. That sniff-heavy walk where you barely cover any distance. That's actually more enriching than a brisk walk twice as long. Number 5 is social play and interaction with you. Not just petting on the couch, but actual engagement. Tug games, fetch, hide, and seek where your dog has to find you. Interactive training games. Dogs are social creatures, and quality interaction with their person is itself a form of enrichment. The key word is quality. Distracted half-attention doesn't count. 10 minutes of genuine, focused play can shift your dog's entire energy for hours. Now, let us talk about something people do not want to hear. The environment matters more than the activity. You can do all the right things in the wrong context and still not see results. If your dog spends 8 hours alone in a silent, stimulus-free space, no amount of evening enrichment fully compensates for that daytime emptiness. This doesn't mean you need to quit your job or hire a dog sitter every day. But it does mean thinking about what your dog's solo environment offers. Can they look out a window safely? Is there background sound, music, or calm audio that reduces the silence? Do they have access to safe chew items that occupy them? Are they in a space that's appropriately sized? Not so large they feel lost, not so small they feel confined. Small environmental adjustments compound into meaningful changes over time. And here's what shifts when you start getting this right. You notice it first in the evenings. The frantic energy when you come home starts to soften. Not because your dog is less excited to see you, it will always be excited to see you, but because it is coming from a place of contentment rather than desperation. The midnight zoomies start to space out, then stop. The chewing redirects, then diminishes. The barking at nothing quiets down. But the deeper change, the one that sneaks up on you, is in the relationship. When you stop managing chaos and start meeting needs, something shifts between you and your dog. You stop bracing for what they are going to destroy next. They stop bouncing off walls trying to get your attention. You get to just be together, quietly, easily, the way it is supposed to feel. Your dog is not difficult. It is not too much. It has a brain that needs something to do, and when you give it that, everything else falls into place. So take one thing from today, just one, and try it this week. If your dog is a chaos machine in the evenings, try 10 minutes of nose work before dinner. If they're waking you up at midnight, add a training session before bed. If they're shadowing you relentlessly, give them a puzzle feeder and watch what happens when their brain finally has a job. You do not need a perfect system. You just need a starting point. And if this shifted how you see your dog's behavior even a little bit, stick around, because there's a lot more where this came from, and it gets even more specific from here. Thanks for watching. If you loved this video, scan the QR code on the screen right now to subscribe and join the Pawsome Life family. Give your dog a belly rub for us, and we will see you in the next video.